Hello and welcome back. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here you will find videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of three. And today we are doing another question and answer session. Okay, I had quite a few requests to do another Q&A video, so here we are. Thank you so much to everyone who sent questions in. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's dive right in. My first question is from Arlene. I'm going to be looking down to read the question, so I apologize. But okay, so my first question is from Arlene, and she said, I see you do a lot of things with your parents. Did they convert as well? If not, are your children curious about their different faith walk? No, my parents did not convert. My parents are still Catholic, which is the religion that I was raised in. They're very happy being Catholic. They're not going to convert. They're not interested. We don't talk about that. They're very happy being Catholic, and that is great. I love that that works so well for them. As far as my kids being curious about their different faith walk, I don't know that they're all that curious, at least at this point in life. I mean, you have to think about they've always been raised knowing that they were a different religion. So it's not, I don't know, it's not like it just popped out of somewhere all of a sudden one day oh, they're a different religion. No, they've just always known that they're a different religion. So I think that they used to be a little curious about the whole Christmas tree thing a little bit, but that's not really so much of an issue anymore. I guess they're kind of over it. But yeah, for the most part, they're not really so curious. We do talk about it. They are aware that they are a different religion. They know what religion it is. They know some of the basics about that religion, but they also know that it's not what we do. Okay, KC asked, does your family wear kippah outside the house or not? Yes. Yes and no. Yes, my husband wears a kippah all the time. So he is wearing a kippah whether he's home or not, definitely. My son, so my little son just started wearing his. So we're going to see how that goes with him. Ideally, he will wear it all the time. And then my older son should be wearing it all the time, in an ideal world. But he's also this 7-year-old boy. They fall off all the time. He gets tired of keeping up with it, and it doesn't tend to last on his head too long. So that's why you don't see him wearing it a whole lot. But he is starting to wear it more often. I think seeing his little brother wearing it all the time is helping. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. So at age 3 is when the little boys start wearing a kippah, but that's really kind of more like practice. They're not really required to do anything until they have their bar mitzvah at 13, or in the case of girls, their bat mitzvah at 12. But so really, as far as wearing a kippah, once he turns 13, that's when he's really got to be doing it. But everybody really does it before then. So if you're walking around our neighborhood, you can tell the little Jewish boys because they're all wearing kippah. So my older son does wear it in house, out of the house. It's kind of hit or miss, basically, but I really try to leave it up to him. Okay, Jess had our next question. She asked me, where did you find your table linens? I've seen a few and they are beautiful. Thank you, Jess. So most of the table linens are from my mother-in-law. One of them was a wedding present. Several of the others you've seen are from my mother-in-law. The blue tablecloth that I have on my kitchen table sometimes is from IKEA. And then there is one kind of cream colored tablecloth that I got from Bed Bath & Beyond 5 years ago. So I will look and see if there are any possible links that I can pull for tablecloths. If I can, I will put them in the description box below. Again, it's been so long since I bought a dining room tablecloth, so I don't know if any of those are available, and most of them came from my mother-in-law, and I don't know, they were used when we got them. I don't know how old they are. I definitely wouldn't know where to find them now. I do love vintage tablecloths. Oh, and a couple other tablecloths I've gotten as hand-me-downs from other people also, but again, 10 years ago. I love linens. Linens are so much fun. Okay, next I've got a couple questions from Miriam. Her first question is, how is Bella, your dog, doing, and how is your training going? Okay, I do want to do a video update on Bella's training, but we're just not quite there yet. Okay, Bella is doing great. So back to that first part of the question, Bella is doing fantastic. We absolutely adore her. She is so much fun. She is so much better behaved than when we got her. When we first got her, she was very jumpy and kind of real mouthy, kind of not nipping so much. Okay, some nipping, but also just kind of being really mouthy, and that just didn't really work with my kids. And she also thought my toddler was a puppy, so that didn't really work well either. But now she's much, much better. So we're not as far along in her training as I would have liked. We also haven't even started the diabetes training. Okay, so because right after we got her, we ended up moving out of the house as part of the remodel, that really just I just sort of went into survival mode and just trying to make sure that, the kids were okay, that I was okay, that everything was okay, because we didn't have her house, we didn't have her stuff. It was just awkward living somewhere else. Like, it was just kind of the whole thing. And there were like holidays in there. There was Hanukkah, there was Thanksgiving. There was just like a lot going on, and a pandemic and whatever. So basically what we've been doing is just kind of working slowly with her on some of the basics. First, it was just like her general behavior towards the children and me, making sure she's not jumping, making sure she's not eating things she's not supposed to, making sure she's going to the bathroom outside and not inside. And we were at the same time working on some basic commands like sit, stay, come, lay down. I guess that's about it. And so she is doing excellent at those commands. And also we were working with her on walking on a leash. So she's pretty good on walking on a leash. I don't know. She's pretty good at walking on a leash, so we're happy with that. But anyway, so yeah, just working on those basic commands and basic behavior. She's still under a year old, so we still have plenty of time, and we could really train even an older dog with diabetes training. So what I have been doing as far as working on the diabetes training is I got some books and things for myself and a workbook, and I've started working on those things, just learning for me what I need to do on my end so that I can start working with her. And as soon as this house is done, I can start working on that a little bit more hardcore. I really think with her personality, because she is such a high energy dog, that she will really, really enjoy having that working aspect of her life. So we'll see. But I will do a video update a little bit later once we start really working on that actual scent training for the diabetes with her. So that's kind of what's going on with Bella. But yeah, she's doing fantastic. We're very happy with her, and she's very happy with us. Okay, Miriam's next question was, how is your garden doing? I have one head of cabbage growing in my garden. It is winter right now. I was actually gonna start planting some more seeds here like now, but we're having this other cold snap next week. It's gonna be below freezing. They're talking about like snow and crazy stuff like that. So I am not gonna start my planting right away. I'm gonna wait till after that. But I have started working on clearing out the old dead plants, you know, raking things out. After we moved back in and I hadn't touched my garden for a couple of months, it kind of looked like the secret garden before they fixed it up. So just a lot of that. And I'm also working on raking out all the pathways, which used to be kind of like dirt and grass, are now like weeds galore. So I've been working on clearing those out with a rake, and I would like to put some kind of gravel down there, make it look a little bit prettier. Yeah, but yeah, basically everything's dead except for a head of cabbage and my parsley. Oh, and my rosemary, but rosemary grows in Texas like a weed. It's amazing. So yeah, that's the garden. But yeah, I bought a ton of seeds. They are ready to go for me to start planting on their schedule. I made a whole schedule of when I should be planting, when I can harvest, what I should be planting indoors, outdoors. I'm kind of a nerd with planning like that. So yeah, the garden is coming, and you'll see more of the garden as the summer goes on and as it becomes a little bit prettier. Right now, it's just a tad cold. All right. Oh, Miriam also asked, are you going to do more in the spring? I think I just answered that. Yes. Okay, Jessie had a question. She said, how do you explain other religions to your children? So kind of like I touched on before, because we have other family members that are other religions, that really makes that pretty easy, because they're already raised with this concept of knowing that there are other religions that are vastly different from ours out in the world. It makes it easier to understand that our religion is different than most of the people out there in our surrounding area and in our country. So that's very helpful. I remember when I was 6 years old and I learned that there was a different religion besides Catholicism. Like, that was kind of a moment for me. I remember that. So my kids, they just have always known. The other way that I teach my kids about other religions is that we have been doing, we've been going through history with my son, starting at like the creation of the world and kind of going through, we're in medieval times right now. So they're getting a lot of religion through our school curriculums. We're using Build Your Library. Love it. So they're getting a lot of world religions through that, because that is just such a theme throughout history, all of the religions and the conflicts and the changes and things like that. So they're already getting the basic, you know, Christianity / Catholicism of like that time, and whole Islamic Empire and the history of the Jews. Like, they're getting all of that through school. We've also learned through our curriculum about different Native American religions, Hinduism, all kinds of things like that. So they're getting a lot of that just through school. And I'd say that's probably the biggest way. We do have a lot of friends who are other religions than us as well. So they learn a lot of real life practice of religion, I guess, from them, as far as overhearing conversations that I have with their parents, because we love to talk theology, or just hearing about their holidays and things like that. Okay, next question. I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Isi, I'm sorry. Okay, but several questions. Okay, what are your hobbies at the moment or long term? Behind me, you can see we've got like all the things. I love hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies. So some of my hobbies, long term, sewing. I've sewn practically my entire life. I love quilting. I'm in the middle of a quilt right now that I put on pause when we moved out of our house, and I have not started again, but I have done a little bit of sewing here and there since we've gotten back in and I've gotten my craft room set up. I also really enjoy like just researching anything in general, just learning. I don't know if you can call that a hobby, but I'm always loving to listen to like educational podcasts. Right now I'm listening to the Nature Guys, super awesome. If you're looking for a great podcast about the natural world, they're hilarious. They're like the click and clack of the nature world. Love them. Look at hair in my face. I don't know. Other hobbies. Right now I've got a nature journal going on. Hold on, let me grab it. So this is something that I have dabbled with in the past, but it's something I really want to work on this year. So I'm doing a phenology wheel and then just, you know, nature stuff. This is a page from a walk around the neighborhood that I took. Starting on a bobcat page because we've got those around here. Been working on some dandelions. I have also recently, speaking of at the moment, I have been writing sonnets. This is so silly, like it sounds so funny to me, like I'm writing sonnets, like I'm Shakespeare or something. I am doing the Shakespearean style of sonnets. It's just, I don't know, it's so much easier for me to write poetry with that structure, and I really, really love poetry. I love Shakespeare, and I love this idea of writing sonnets because, you know, they've got that set structure of how many syllables and how the iambic pentameter, I think that's what it's called. The way that the words go up and down, and how the rhyming scheme is. It's like this very structured way, and I look at it as this challenge / puzzle of how to get everything out from my head into that format and onto paper. It's such a thrilling thing. So on each page of my nature journal, besides the phenology wheel, I am writing a sonnet and including that, like a sonnet on the topics. So for example, on the page that I did about the dandelions, I wrote a sonnet about dandelions, and I put that on the page where I also gave a bunch of fun facts and things about dandelions and painted pictures of them. So this nature journal is basically so many fun things and challenges all wrapped into one awesome book, and I'm very excited to do that this year. So yeah, I would say like that book and all that it entails, as well as sewing. If you want to count housekeeping as a hobby, like yeah, that too, because I really enjoy keeping my house. And then camping, like anything outdoorsy, camping, hiking, things like that. We go hiking and camping regularly and spend a lot of time outdoors in all reasonable weather. So yeah, those are hobbies of mine. Okay, her next question was, what is your favorite food? I would have to say tacos. I love tacos. And when I say tacos, I'm not talking about like crunchy tacos with ground beef in it. I'm talking about soft tacos with like chicken or maybe portobello mushrooms. Like there's so much variety in tacos. Breakfast tacos with like scrambled eggs and stuff, with lots of fresh ingredients, you know, salsa, fresh cilantro, things like that. So good. I love, love, love tacos. And I could eat tacos every day. And there have been some weeks where I may have eaten tacos every day. Okay, her next question is, where would you like to travel after the coronavirus pandemic? Are we talking dream world or are we talking a reasonable vacation? Okay, before the pandemic, we were trying to plan a trip to Moab. So I would definitely love to go to Moab. There are two national parks there. There's Arches National Park and Canyonlands National Park, as well as Dead Horse State Park, which is phenomenal. And just so many other amazing, I mean, it's amazing out there. That's my kind of the country. Like if I could live out there kind of in this like rocky desert place, I would just love it. So yeah, Moab, I would say for sure is where I would like to go. If we're talking dream world vacation, I would like to live in a van and travel to all the national parks and like spend a year doing that. But that's very unrealistic, and that would probably make more sense during a pandemic than not. So, but I don't have a van, but maybe someday. All right. The next question, did you train for a job / go to university before becoming a housewife? Yes, I went to Texas Tech University and studied many, many things there. I did not graduate, but I have more than enough hours to graduate. So if I went back there, I could finish up an actual major in like a semester, but I just don't really see the point. So yeah, yes, and I had a couple of careers before I became a housewife. I worked at a nonprofit where we help children who are in child protective services by working directly with the caseworkers, providing resources for them. I handled all of the things. I was the program director there and handled all the in-kind donations and drives. After that, I worked at a car dealership where I was a car salesperson. That was a super fun job. And so after I got engaged, I moved back to Dallas. It was just really impossible to find a job, and it kind of fell into this housewife thing, and it was a very hard adjustment for me. If you want, I can go into a whole video about that. And I kind of dabbled in a few things, different kind of jobs and money-making things, but nothing really career-ish, I guess. And now that we have kids, I am very happy staying at home. Hey there, friends. Okay, so surprise, this video has gotten to be a bit long already, and I still have lots of questions left. So I'm gonna close the video here and then do a second Q&A video with the rest of your questions next week on Thursday. Stay tuned. Monday, I am planning to do another Shabbat prep video for Monday. Okay. So if there are any more questions, drop me a little note in the comments and let me know. I can tack on maybe a couple more questions to the next video, and yeah, we'll see that on Thursday. So in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I super appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.